Anthony, the Cummings name on Newmarket Australian Cup Day has been famous over the years, but you'd like to put your name against both of those, like your dad.
Yeah, pretty much. The name's the same, but the initials are a bit different.
Better for you. Fontalina, jump out this morning. Take us through what you saw and thought.
They went fairly steady out of the gates. I think they're all looking for a leader, and none of them wanted to do it. But in the finish, they hit the line as well as anything has this morning, and quite a nice hit out, final gallop for us. I suppose the thing for us to think about going into Saturday is that we go into the race on about 52.5, and the horse he trialled with the top of the weight. So his prospects on Saturday are pretty strong.
What do you make of the build-up for him going to a Newmarket off a lot prep, really?
Yeah, it has been, but it's not dissimilar to the one that saw him come out and run 1.8 here on Derby Day. So he'll go there fit and well and ready to run a very good race.
Obviously, the race you targeted to go. It's no sort of hit and miss option here.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, we targeted that race on Derby Day and got the money. I'm pleased about that. And came here coming here on Saturday with a similar expectation, with a horse that I think in the time has sort of strengthened a bit and will come back a better horse as preparation.
Okay, it's interesting you say that, because I don't think we've got a real handle on him. We haven't seen enough of him, I suppose, to think where he's at. How good a horse is he?
Well, he won a stakes race at his first lifetime start, and that's not a simple thing to do. His nuts got the better of him after that, and his form wasn't quite what it should have been. But as a gelding, came back and won his first start, beating Sedcom in a Ruddy's race at Canterbury. And we thought we'd win that day, and he did. And Sedcom has since come out and had some Group 1 form behind him. I think he's up to that standard, and I think he'll prove that as we go through this preparation.
With a black caviarless Newmarket, it's a good spread and old-fashioned handicap, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. And I think the fact that those guys went there before the weights were set, has given it that sort of old handicap look, as you say. So for us to go in there as a straight track winner and been able to run the time, and you go in there and I think dropped 2 kilos on what he carried on Derby Day into a race that probably doesn't look any stronger.
Okay, well that's the Newmarket one and done. Australian Cup, 5.5 star, the 3-year-olds. It's 2 good 3-year-olds taking on some seasoned horses here.
Yeah, I think the 3-year-olds this year, most of the weight for age races have been very hard to beat. In fact, they've won the greater majority of them, both here in Sydney. So I'm pretty relaxed about taking the weight for age horses on. His form since he's been back has been much better than last time. At the beginning of his last preparation, he got beaten in a maiden at Newcastle. So to come out and run second at a Group 2 level first time out Group 3 level was a pretty good run, and then the Group 2 last time was excellent. Off what was always going to be his hardest race this prep with the step from 14 to 1800. This time a much easier step, and having had that run, the benefit that provided fitness-wise, he goes into this Australian Cup with a great chance. He's
a fast stayer, but he brought himself undone by not being fit enough to go fast enough in the Peter Young.
Yeah, something like that. It was always going to be a bit of a fine line to draw, about when Glenn took off and what his fitness levels were. So didn't quite get it right, but nevertheless a very good run just the same. As I say, with that run under his belt and a couple of nice gallops since, he'll go into the race easily fit enough to run a strong 2000.
I mean, this race comes up pretty quick in a campaign. Most horses going in 3rd runs in, and you knew that when you plotted the path. But it's a short break off the Derby.
Short break off the Derby. He got the residual fitness, and that's why you sort of go to that 1400 first up and expect them to take the step. The reality, his comfort zone is like from this distance on. So it's a very comfortable step up for him, and a comfortable step to the 2000 at this stage of the preparation.
Are you confident you can turn it around on the other 3-year-old off last start, or is it a totally different race this week?
I think it's certainly a different race. The likes of Glass Harmonium, a bigger field, and there's going to be more pressure up front in the first part of the race. I think part of our issue last time was that it was a little bit too soft in that first part, allowed the other horse to ramble up within himself, and I doubt that he's going to get that sort of leisurely sort of step into the 2,000 metre race here at Flemington.
Fair call. The rest of the day, exciting horse in She's a Fox runs in the 1100, and good to see them straight to Melbourne.
Yeah, she actually had a trial at Randwick this morning, but down the back straight, and she basically had a straight track trial at Randwick and trialled very well. She gets on a float tonight and she'll be here on Saturday. But very exciting horse, a full sister to Fox Wedge, and he's was one of the leading 3-year-olds of his season. I'm hopeful that she's going to be the same for her season.
Runs with Agadar in that race.
Yeah, Agadar's come back really well. A couple of really nice trials, and she's had some experience up the straight. Was stakes placed, I don't know, half a dozen times so far in her career, and just hasn't quite cracked it. This race gives her a great opportunity, and if there's a chink in She's a Fox, Agata can find it, and that lack of experience from She's a Fox at Flemington, might be the difference on the line.
Okay. Diva D runs a restricted race.
Yeah, well, she's in a 2-year-old filly stakes race, and she'll run really well. A nice trial this morning at Caulfield, and had a pretty good trial at Randwick a few weeks ago. Goes into there with the 1200 being the difference for her, I think, this time up the straight, and she'll race very well.
Northern Jewel on the size.
Yeah, pleased with him. A good second first up, and then failed on a wet track, and that's what brought us to Flemington. With the continued wet weather there, both for She's a Fox, for Agata, and certainly for Northern Jewel, better off here on top of the ground, and allows them to show themselves. And he's settled in here very well. He went to Sandown for a gallop on Saturday last. He trialled this morning at Caulfield, and he'll go in the race very fit, and looks to be up to the standard.
So they've been everywhere, haven't they?
Oh yeah, well they have horse will travel.
Been right race. Good on you, Anthony.
Okay.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.